All right, so I finished Fallout 3, and these are like my initial thoughts of the game. Or after finishing the game, I don't know if it's like, cause like, okay, here's the thing, my Fallout 3 experience was like kind of weird because I kind of rushed it. I will admit, and I didn't really like delve into the story. Well, I did. I understood the story. Essentially, you're just like trying to get Project Purity up and running again with your dad's aid, and that's it. Like that's just as simple as it can get, and it's an okay story, and compared to New Vegas, and I know people like love to dog on Fallout 3. Like everyone kind of hates Fallout 3. You know the 8-hour videos and stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's to me Fallout 3 is just genuinely just an okay game. It's not the best game in the franchise. Personally, because like here's the thing, I might be called as a New Vegas fanboy, considering that I already played 3 playthroughs of New Vegas compared to any of the other games. But like I genuinely just enjoy New Vegas way more than Fallout 3, like just in terms of everything. I love the atmosphere of New Vegas. I love the dialogue of New Vegas, and I love the role playing capabilities of New Vegas. Like everything about it was just really fun to play in, because in because in that game New Vegas, uh, you're essentially the courier, and then later you get shot in the head, so you don't know anything about your past except for Lonesome Road, but you don't know anything about your past, and like you're just like, you can essentially role play whoever you want to be. You want to be a good guy, then you can be a good guy. If you want to be a bad guy, you can be a bad guy. And I found that so much fun in New Vegas, because the game actually reacts to how what you're doing, and plus the absurdity of that game is what really brings like a really special charm into it, if like you understand, because it's like you just woke up, or you got shot as the mailman, and then later all of a sudden you're now the king of the Mojave desert. And that's the reason why like I just find that like really absurd for Fallout New Vegas to have that, and it was really funny and it was really fun. Now the thing with Fallout 3 on the other hand is just that I don't know if it's because of the amount of exposed videos that I received, or like oh Fallout 3 is bad, and like those type of videos that I watched, but I just didn't really get into like the role playing aspect of Fallout, and I feel like the role play aspect is very important in Fallout, because that's what makes, in my opinion, single player games fun. I think immersion is what makes or breaks the single player experience, or at least it's like one of the biggest factors into it. Because if you're not immersed in the game, then you're not gonna you have to hope that the gameplay is at least fun. But in Fallout 3, the gameplay, the guns, I don't know if it's my stats. I don't know if it's just anything, but like the guns just suck in this game. Oddly enough, compared to New Vegas, I just saw all of my shots like just not hitting it, even though like my crosshair was in it and stuff. And like I don't know if it was just like a weird effect from again New Vegas, but it was just like I don't know. The guns were just way more clunkier this time, and then later, what else? There's the DLCs. Now I didn't play all the DLCs. I'm not like the biggest fan of DLCs, but in Fallout 3 anyway, I remember like long time ago I played Mothership Zeta, and it was a weird experience. It was just an alien. It was actually just free XP, honestly. Like if we're really talking about it, it's just free XP along with Operation Anchorage. And okay, in a sense I didn't finish Fallout 3 because I just stopped playing after like you wake up from the Broken Steel DLC. But like I don't want to play it anymore. I don't know, I kind of got like sick. But okay, to give credit where credit is due though, Fallout 3's final act, the one with Liberty Prime and you're pushing into the Project Purity, I will admit is very fun. It was very nice and I loved every single moment about it. And it was just like it was very chaotic, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Great job, Bethesda. But other than that, nothing in the game really just super immersed me at all. And there's also just some weird moments in Fallout 3 that I didn't enjoy, like the whole meta, like neighborhood sitcom thing. Like I don't know. I didn't dig it. Like it just didn't feel the right vibe. And like I know it sounds weird because it's like in New Vegas they also have the absurd things, you know. Like you have an Elvis impersonator called the Kings that is that's running a gang of that's running a gang that's called the Kings. And if you do one of his quests, you can essentially get his robot dog, which or Rex, and the brain of that dog is exposed. Like that's absurd. That's weird, but it honestly kind of fits, and I like it. But for Fallout 3, the weird just doesn't feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like kind of cool. I don't know. Like it's just a weird experience, honestly, because the whole meta thing, like I said, was just this weird um thing to it that happened in the game. But I will admit, I like the build up to it. I liked how if you when you enter the pod, it would like it's essentially like the loading screen of the game, and you know like with the police wait and all that. And I just couldn't really get into Fallout 3. And oh yeah, I speaking of the roleplay actually, uh, I don't like the story or like the Lone Wanderer stuff, because don't get me wrong, um, again with the courier, you have a established past, but you have a semi-established past. But for the Lone Wanderer, even though you have an established past, and I think that's okay, I just don't like the fact that you're 19 in the entire throughout the entire playthrough of Fallout 3. Like you're not 20, you're not like an old guy or an old girl. You're not like a middle-aged guy. You're not like an adult. No, you're basically still a kid. You're just running around the entire wasteland doing all of these things as a 19-year-old. And that's like probably one of like the major factors why I didn't dig Fallout 3 that much, and it's because of the protagonist. I just didn't dig the Lone Wanderer. I tried because like the characters that I want to do are, you know, they're kind of like this. They're like a good force, but then later they're also like, you know, type of they're like okay, I guess. And I just feel like with Bethesda and how like the Lone Wanderer is just 19, it just doesn't feel right in a weird sense. Like it doesn't feel like, oh okay, so like he's 19 years old, but like, you know, they can like run around the entire capital wasteland, and then later he's just like a jerk to everyone. Especially with the evil playthroughs, by the way, because you can do some evils, well, semi-evil stuff in this game, and I just feel like it's just I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. Like it's not like a fun good, you know. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like it doesn't make sense for someone to like as a 19-year-old who went out the vault and then later like just starts killing everybody. Like okay, I mean like maybe you can wrap up a story like the Lone Wanderer after being betrayed by his vault started to never trust a single person ever again, trying to find his dad, and then later he'll shoot up anybody who tries to get in his way or get in their way. But like it doesn't feel like right for me anyways, because compared to Fallout 4, now here's the thing with Fallout 4. Fallout 4 had an adult. You know, you're essentially finding your son. And in games, I already seen that type of thing. You know, a father trying to find his son. You know, if you watch those movies, you know, you can do sort of like a Joel type of thing from Last of Us, a role where like you would stop at nothing to protect your son and all that. And like to me, that makes sense to do a semi-evil playthrough or whatever, or like a, you know, Wastelander, because like it makes sense for your character to be brutal because your son was kidnapped and you're a father or a mother, and then later you'll stop at nothing to find that, you know, child of yours. And I feel like that's like okay, but like sure, I don't care, but maybe the person or like our character cares about it because clearly, you know, that's her child. But again, for Fallout 3, we're just trying to find Liam Neeson. We're just trying to find our father, and I just didn't get attached to him, and I didn't like kind of wrap a story in my brain on like if they should be brutal trying to find their father or if they shouldn't. And that was like this weird thing where it's just like I don't want to be a bad guy, but then later at the same time being a good guy is just weird, and I don't know. And I don't know if I mentioned if this game was short. I think I did in the beginning of the video, but essentially, yeah, like I said, the game is actually like really, really short, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the speech checks in the game. Because okay, so I came from New Vegas, right? But in New Vegas, it was essentially a hard check. So if you needed 50 or more speech to get over the speech check or whatever, and that's it. But if you were to, but in Fallout 3, actually in Fallout 3 it's chance based, and I don't know if like the higher your speech, the more like the higher the chance of you like succeeding in that speech call like would affect it. I didn't know, I didn't really research it, but I still 100 percent speech, and it's just like it just doesn't feel rewarding for speech to be luck based, because I remember I did this with Tree Dog, where essentially you can, I think I skipped an entire quest line or like a side quest, because in Tree Dog there's like a speech check there, and I remember it was like 21%. So all I did was just I would quick save, and then later I'd go back and forth, and I'll just essentially do the entire thing until I succeeded, and then later I'd be on my way to the next point. I don't know, and then later it just felt weird. It really just did. I preferred it when it was more like a hard set, in New Vegas, because then later it feels like, oh, this is an option I wouldn't have had if, like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, And to me, I really love that about New Vegas. And yeah, that's about it. There's also, wait a minute, let me just try to remember. Oh yeah, the speech in this game is also kind of cool in a weird way, because if I had a high int character, I had 9, but then I found a bobblehead which made me have like a 10 int character, which is honestly really cool. But in that 10 int, I essentially just like that one person, or like my character anyways, had a lot of intelligence, like talking, speech mark, skill check, special check, I don't know what they're called. And I just found that to be a bit cool, that to be cool, because that didn't really happen a lot in New Vegas. The only one that's like in my mind is some is probably Old World Blues. That's the only like int check that I remember. But like yeah, anyways. There's also like this weird thing about the stats about Fallout 3 that I just never really understood about, which was the, like I said, the speech one. The speech one, like I just never understood it. And then later they also had a small guns, big arms type of thing. I really appreciate the fact that in New Vegas they just condensed that into guns, because I just really like that fact, because first of all, that's a lot of skill points to be spending on, big guns and small guns. And yeah, that's about it. In Fallout 3, what else can I say? Honestly, I don't really know anymore. Yeah, that's about it actually. I just wanted to make, a sort of quick video, because I just played Fallout 3. I finished the game, and I'd say it's an okay game. And I don't want to be seen like, I really love Fallout. I really like this franchise, and it's really one of my favorite of all time. But like for Fallout 3, I just couldn't get super into it for some reason. And I know that there's some people out there that's all like Fallout 3 is actually underappreciated, and it's actually kind of cool and stuff like that. And I just feel like, I think it is. I think it can be, or maybe not, because I don't know. I just couldn't get into the game that much, and I just felt like it was just weird in a weird sort of way. Oh yeah, there's speaking of weird, there's that and like the children type of area, um in like the little lamplight. I think that place is called like the cavern to the vault when you're trying to get the Gek. Um, I hated the girl there. That's called Princess. I don't know what it is with video games trying to make children the like most annoying creatures in the entire game. But oh my gosh, I hated her attitude. And yeah, I like Fox. Fox was a good one. I feel like it's a bit weird though, because Fox kind of appears late in the game, like really really late in my opinion. uh for some reason in the Lone Wanderer also in so many stories I keep hearing them, they keep meeting dog meat in this game. I don't know what I did wrong, but I didn't meet dog meat. But then again, I think that's my fault because, like I said, I think I kind of speed run the game because I was like, oh, this is like gonna be quick and easy and like whatever. But like yeah, those are my thoughts on Fallout 3. Maybe I'll give it like another try another day, but Fallout 3 for my first like complete playthrough, I just thought it was an okay game. I didn't really get fully immersed into the game to really like delve into it, you know, because that's what made me really love New Vegas is that I got immersed as the career, and then later I kind of was like, oh, I want to keep playing the game and I want to see like the whole world react to it. You know, that's what made playing the courier fun, in my opinion anyway. But in Fallout 3, I just couldn't get I really really did not like the fact that I was like a 19-year-old in that game, because then later if you do like a, oh, where's my dad, it's like essentially like it's a teenage guy just screaming, where's my dad, where's my dad, I want my dad, I miss my dad. Also, not to mention that the dad, as soon as you get him, he dies right after. I'm not even joking. Because then later, you save the dad from the meta universe or whatever. And then later, you go to the Rivet City to get Dr. Lin or Dr. Lee, I think. I forgot her name. And then later afterwards, you go back to Project Purity. You get there, the Enclave shows up. And then later, he just dies. Like, what? Like we couldn't have spared like a little bit of time there. Like he genuinely just immediately dies there, and I feel like that's such a like a bummer way to end like that entire thing. And what else is there? No, yeah, the Enclave. I forgot to mention the Enclave. Um, the president, I kind of convinced him to just I don't know if I can say this, but essentially self-destruct himself and the entire enclave, which was kind of cool. And I know that in Fallout, there's like a bunch of speech checks that you can do and stuff like that. And actually, there's a bit of a role-playing thing that I did concerning Colonel Autumn. But essentially what I did is that I let the enclave kind of like divide itself apart because I find it cool. I really like that final part because when you're captured in the enclave base, there was like a lieutenant that would be there, and if you win the speech check, then later the president will essentially say, "Everybody, ignore this guy. I want to talk to the vault." And then later, out of nowhere, Colonel Autumn would just say, "Actually, scratch that. You disregard that other order. Kill him." Now, don't get me wrong. I really like that cool thing, but at the same time, I don't know why you would do that, cause I don't know. I just don't know why you would do that. Maybe it's like hidden in some lore thing that I didn't perceive. Well, if it's a lore thing, then that's my fault. Then I appreciate, not appreciate, but like it's my fault. I'll admit it. But it was a weird thing, but I enjoyed it. But here comes the other thing, and it's that I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I was super like if I was overpowered by the enclave thing, but I remember having a laser rifle which does only 12 damage. By the way, like only 12 damage, and it was destroying everyone in that entire like base. And mind you, my energy weapon stat wasn't high. It was like maybe around 20 or something. And I just found that like a bit like weird. Like I don't know, like I thought these guys were like I thought it was gonna be like a gauntlet, you know. Like if anything, the true gauntlet of like a true fighting gauntlet, the in the main game at least was the mutants in the vault. That's the one where I actually felt like, oh my goodness me, this is like a bit this is challenging and this is hard and like, oh my gosh. But to this, it's just not that cool. uh it's just I just didn't really like get into it with the whole enclave being weak thing, and I don't know if it's like that. I'm just kind of yapping at this point, but essentially what I'm saying is that the enclave, I don't know if it was just me being overpowered or me just being I don't know. I really don't know, but like they were just really weak in my playthrough, and I just found that really really weird. And I don't know if it was a bug, but yeah. I'm sorry if I yapped around at the end. I kind of lost focus and I started speaking my mind or speaking without thinking. But like yeah, that's my initial thoughts of Fallout 3. The game was fun. I mean like it's kind of like a mid fun. It's like the type of fun where like you were bored the entire day and then you have nothing to do, but now you have something to do and it's like serviceable, so you'll call it fun. That's like Fallout 3. Like I didn't get the fun that I got from New Vegas. But like yeah, thanks for listening to me and yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
I just want to make this well known to everyone out there that CapCut kind of made it like go pro or something, and it's like really, really irritating. So that's the reason why this video took a little bit longer to make. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and all of that. And yeah, goodbye.